Hi everybody, my name is Pin from Pin's Nature Portal and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you my fish room. In total I have about 7 tanks and they all have their own purposes. And the reason why I'm doing this video today is because, well, I'm about to move. So there's gonna be a lot of changes that's going to happen with all my tanks. After I move, which is about 3-4 weeks from now, I'll show you my plan on how to set up my new home aquarium systems. So yeah, without further ado, let's get it started. So first thing first, well, this is my main display tank and it's housing a bunch of my Mickey Mouse platy fry, and some of them are all grown up. For example, this one, see how big it is. And it has some peppercorns and my hillstream loach. So the primary purpose for this tank is to, as you can tell by all the rocks that I have in here, is to breed the hillstream loaches. It's been a year. I started with 14 hillstream loaches, and these guys, let's just say, they are not cheap. They average about like 16, 17 per piece. So yeah, I spent a lot of money to try to breed them, but turned out I started on the wrong method. So the best way, after I did some research after I gotten these guys, is to just get a pair, a male and a female, and put them in a place like this, and then they will breed. After many have died due to various reasons, I have one pair left, and thankfully one male and one female, and they finally bred. So that's the fortunate thing. As you can see, there's a baby right there, and his name's Timmy. And you may ask, why do you name your fish? I typically don't. But the reason why I named it, well, technically my girlfriend, is because Timmy is the only survivor in this batch. And my theory is that because I had a lot of other fishes in here, right? So all the Mickey Mouse platies and the cories, these are hungry fish. They probably ate all the eggs. And these guys, the hillstream loach, they actually spawn in the water column. They would, swim up towards the surface in pair, and then they would release eggs and sperms at the same time. So my theory is that when it was falling down, all the eggs, it got picked up by, the fry here, the Mickey Mouse fry, and whatever that didn't get to the crevices that the aquariums couldn't get, got eaten by the cories. So yeah, and also recently my Sagittaria, I only had 3 in here. They didn't grow for the last year at all. They just stay the way, sort of like this. It's these 3 on the top, and all of a sudden this year they started growing, and I'm pretty happy to see that. And also I got some runners coming out from here as well. And the hillstream loach that I have in here, they just love the rocks. But yeah, I'll keep you posted on Timmy's progress over here. And as for filtration wise, I have an air stone in here, and it's hidden behind those rocks. Before I had not a wave maker, but it's like a type of filter that would shoot out a jet of water, and the fish, they loved it. But after I did some research, I realized these guys, the Mickey Mouse platies, they actually come from really slow warm waters. So in order to make them feel best at home, so I took it out and swapped for just a simple air stone, and it's been working out great. And as you can see, I have some terrestrial plants. That's Syngonium, and this is another plant that I currently do not know the names of. And it was just a top cutting, and I didn't even think it can survive. But as you can see, it sent out lots of roots, water roots down here, and all those white parts of the roots, those are new growths. So this plant is doing very happy. I chopped off all the old leaves, and everything that you see here right now, These are brand new leaves that they only grew out after I moved it into this tank. And also we have a special fish in here. So that is actually another type of cory, and I believe it's elegant cory. I purchased the pepper cories first, and I went to Petco. I just saw this one guy in this big tank, and at the time I didn't know my cories, and they looked like a pepper cory to me. Now I can tell the difference, but at the time I thought it was another pepper cory. So I bought it thinking it was a pepper cory, and turned out it wasn't. So it's just this guy alone in the tank. And I noticed this type of cory, the elegant cory, it doesn't like swim on the bottom. It always like floats slightly above the substrate, unlike the pepper cories. Yeah, like that. And the pepper cories would just sit right on the bottom, and this cory doesn't do that. I wonder what's the reason for it to do it. There must be a reason that this type of cory does it. Definitely serves the function in the wild. So if you know, please let me know. And here's Timmy again, grazing on some algae. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it about this tank. It's sitting on my bookshelf. I have a different plan for this tank. Still gonna be I'm gonna move out all the other fish, including the cories and the fry. Just gonna leave my hillstream to it. Hopefully I'll be able to breed a larger colony of them. So yeah, that's enough for this tank. And second tank, well, technically it's not a tank, but it's definitely I consider a centerpiece in my apartment. Let me just move this very quickly. That's what I use to do water changes. So here we have, well, these are the parents of the Mickey Mouse platies. I got 6, and I lost count how many fry I've gotten from them. Probably somewhere in the 20s and 30s. And the main group in this tank is actually, let me stop the light, see if you can see them, are my white claw minnows. I only started to keeping these fish a year ago, and they've bred for me prolifically. So I started again with 6 or 8, I forgot, but it was in the single digit. And now I have like 30, 40, and I'm actually selling them on the side too. And where's Bertha, my female betta fish? I recently moved her here just so she can have a bigger, oh, there she is. She can have a bigger space. So yeah, it's a community tank, and they all live peacefully together here. And for plants, I have some, this is some type of sword plant, and I believe it's native to California, Southern California. I don't know the name. I picked them out from a trip, and I noticed they are annual, but since I kept them in a stable temperature, room temperature in my apartment, they just never died, and it just kept on growing. But sometimes they'll have these like deformed leaves, and sometimes these are new growths, and these leaves are perfect. So I don't know what's the cause for that, but it's definitely a new experience for me keeping these plants. And actually, I from the research I did, Korean hobby, people actually used to sell these, but I don't know why they fell out of favor. And here for floating plants, these are the 2 free floaters that I got from the LA Pet Fair. So this is water hyacinth, and this is a large water lettuce, which I also have, but the variation that I have is a dwarf version of this. And for the other plants, I have some Chinese pennywort. These are terrestrial plants, but from my past experience, they grow beautifully in not hydroponic, like in water as well. And you can see there's new roots that's coming out, the white root. So that's its runners. And for other plants, as you can see, I have lots of monstera, and they're doing beautifully too. This thing is growing a new leaf, and they're getting to be matured very quickly. So as you can see from the progression of the leaves, they were terrestrial before. They were in a soil pot, so they were already matured right here. And then I put them in water. They lost some of their fenestrations, and now they're slowly coming back. So that means they're doing pretty well. And here's where I put all my white claw minnows after I bred them. And next to it, I have this used to be my display tank just for a tiny aquascape. Had loads of Anubias nana petite, and also put bird in here for a while before I started breeding my betta fish, which I also showed in my previous video. And if you want to check out the process, you can click on that video and check it out. But currently it's vacant. I stuffed all my Anubias nana petite in here just to keep them alive. After I move, I'm definitely gonna make it into a nice small Anubias tank. Maybe put some shrimps in here, maybe without anything at all, but just the plants. So we'll see. That's TBD. And also I purposely put that one aerial root from my Monstera in this tank to help to filter the tank. And it's doing pretty well too. So that's tank number 3. And tank number 4. Here I currently, well, it used to be vacant, and then I used it to breed my betta fish. As you can see, there's one betta fry in here. So in total, I believe I have 4 betta fry that's alive. If you are a breeder and you don't have 4 left after one breeding session, that's a total failure. But given that this is my first time doing this and I have 4, I call it a success. And other than the babies I have in here, I also have 2 bristlenose plecos in here. I just got them yesterday. They're tiny. They're about like less than 1 inch in length. One is white albino, one is black. And I took my chance. I wanted to breed them. So I got a pair. I asked the guy who was getting the fish for me, I was like, do you know how to sex them? And he was like, they're too small to sex. So I just took my chances, and luckily the albino one, by the shape of her head, I could tell that she's a female because it's more rounded. And the regular one, the black one, his head is more pointed. By that I could tell it's a male. So my job right now is grow them out and breed them within a year worth of time. So I'll keep you updated. And I keep a fern here. This is a fern that's native to China, and I noticed when this plant does not have sufficient water, the plant withers. So that's this tank. That's where I keep my betta fry and where I grow out my bristlenose plecos. So here, this is a hodgepodge when it comes to plants. So I have my favorite plants, so wassertain, and this is another, I don't know what this is. I just saw it growing in the mud when I was walking right next to a river. So I just took 2 cuttings, and I didn't put any nutrient-rich substrate in there. It's just rocks, and all these leaves are new growths. And then here is a lotus. I believe it's a yellow lotus, but I might be wrong. I got it recently from my girlfriend's dad. It's doing all right. The leaves are definitely way smaller than from the pond when we pull it out, but hey, it's surviving. And my plan is to put it in mud and grow it outdoor once I move. So I'll keep you updated on that. Hopefully it will flower for me. And my shrimps, oh my gosh, they have just been breeding and breeding and breeding. I started with 7, now I must have hundreds. So they're everywhere, and I see babies everywhere. And here, the bucket, well, this is where I keep all my fry when they first hatch. So I have about probably 20 white claw minnows in here, and also I put baby betta fish in here as well. Can't really see it, but they're doing pretty good in here. That's because I have loads of microfauna in here that they can prey on, and they grow really fast. I only feed them once a day with my fish flake, and the rest they just get it from the bucket. I put a lot of fish poop. Every single time when I clean my sponge, I just clean the sponge in here, and all the moam has loads of micro life that they can eat on. So this is just my way of breeding my fish. Might not be viable commercially to breed fish this way, but if you're a hobbyist, I definitely recommend try it out. Just grab your sponge filter and squeeze it out and let it settle, and you can go out, get some wild water from nature, and it definitely contains loads of microfauna, and then put them back in here. They'll start to grow, and then you breed your fish in here. The fry, they're gonna come out beautifully. They will grow really fast and they will be healthy. So moving on, this was my 5th tank, and the last one is my oldest tank. This is actually my first tank that I ever got. This is currently housing my male betta fish, Bert. He's the only resident in here. It's kind of looking quite untidy right now. I just have a hodgepodge of plants in here. I moved my Venus Nera from the hillstream loach tank to here, and also I forgot the name of this plant. It's supposed to be requiring CO2 and requiring high light, but it's surviving just fine. Also have some Soasotane in the back and another Syngonium. Just a side conversation. I also keep my snake plant in water as well, and look at the leaf. This is a new leaf. It's doing absolutely fine, and this is a new leaf too. So yeah, for those who are growing plants, who love house plants, definitely try to grow your plants hydroponically. I mean, this is not the only way to do things or a better way per se, but it's just, it's amazing how life can adapt to whatever environment that you throw it to, and they're just doing fine. And I also keep my monstera this way too, hydroponically. Don't mind the cyanobacteria in the container, but all their arrowroots, I put them in water and they're doing fine. Also, it has a little bit culture of some seed shrimps in here, which I also use. Sometimes I'll take a swinge, suck it out, and feed it to my baby fish. So yeah, that's all my tanks. And I do have a bonus tank. Well, it's not a tank technically, it's another container that I have on the patio. That's where I keep not all my shrimps. I put 5 shrimps in there. 1 died on day 1, and the rest they just bred. I never fed it, it just kept on growing. And my plan for that is to clean everything out, save all the shrimps, and put them into my shrimp tank before I move. And also, I would like to count how many baby shrimps I've gotten from just the 4 that I originally put in there. But that will be another video for a different time, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated. And that's it for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great day. See you next time.